Ahead of Delhi elections, opposition parties India bloc's rift has widened with Mamata Banerjee's Trinamool Congress announcing its support for the Aam Aadmi Party. Uddhav Thackeray's Shiv Sena UBT is also confident that the Aam Aadmi Party will win polls in Delhi, while Akhilesh Yadav's Samajwadi Party has announced its support for the Aam Aadmi Party in the upcoming assembly elections. All of this sparking speculation of a significant rift within the India bloc alliance, particularly concerning the Congress party, which finds itself not just running alone but also completely isolated, despite claiming leadership on the alliance. Now, Congress is dismissive of this show of support to Aam Aadmi Party. It has said that non-Delhi parties don't really matter now, but this has once again brought to the fore the leadership crisis in India bloc and questions about the present and future of this alliance. National Conference's Omar Abdullah, meanwhile, has said that there's no clarity on the India bloc leadership and that the bloc could be dismantled if it has no future, if it was only meant for the Lok Sabha elections. Let's look at some reactions.
दिल्ली का चुनाव आम आदमी पार्टी और बीजेपी के बीच में है। ये इंडिया गठबंधन का चुनाव नहीं है। जो भी हमें समर्थन मिल रहा है, मैं उन सभी पार्टियों का दिल से शुक्रिया अदा करता हूं। वो हमें समर्थन दे रहे हैं। ममता दीदी ने समर्थन दिया और अखिलेश जी ने समर्थन दिया। मैंने इसमें मीडिया में ही देखा है कि शायद ठाकरे जी की भी पार्टी शायद समर्थन दे रही है। मैं सब लोगों का शुक्रिया अदा करता हूं जो हमें आशीर्वाद दे रहे हैं।
मैं इसके बारे में फ़िलहाल कुछ नहीं कह सकता हूं, क्योंकि हमारा दिल्ली के इलेक्शन से कोई लेना देना नहीं है। बदकिस्मती की बात यह है कि क्योंकि इंडिया ब्लॉक की कोई मीटिंग बुलाई नहीं जा रही है, तो इसमें कोई क्लैरिटी नहीं है, ना लीडरशिप को लेके, ना एजेंडा को लेके, ना आगे क्या हम रहेंगे या नहीं रहेंगे इसको लेके। शायद दिल्ली के इंतखाबात हो जाएं, उसके बाद अच्छा ये होगा कि इंडिया ब्लॉक के तमाम जो हिस्सेदार हैं उनको बुलाया जाए और इस पर क्लैरिटी हो। अगर ये सिर्फ पार्लियामेंट इलेक्शंस के लिए था, इसको वाइंड अप करिए।
इंडिया गठबंधन का एक बहुत अहम हिस्सा है आम आदमी पार्टी, और हमारी नेता ममता बंदोपाध्याय हर एक पार्टी का सम्मान करते हैं। उसका जो उचित स्थान है वो उसका रहना चाहिए। हमने आपका समर्थन किया है, हमारी नेत्री ने समर्थन किया है, हमारी पार्टी समर्थन करती है। दिल्ली में आम आदमी पार्टी है तो कांग्रेस को समर्थन करना चाहिए था, लेकिन आज कांग्रेस विरोध में खड़ी है और वोट काट रही है।
Sir, also speaking about, your alliance, the India alliance at this point has clearly shown Samajwadi Party and the TMC have extended their support onto Aam Aadmi Party. How do you see this being an alliance member as well?
Well, these parties are not relevant in Delhi, so what they want to do, what they don't want to do, they must be having their own alliance. All parties are scared of the Congress. They are scared that if Congress makes a comeback, all regional parties will also get squeezed in because, most of them and the Congress voters are common. So I think they are playing a game just to keep safe in their states. As far as Samajwadi Party and Trinamool is concerned, they are irrelevant in Delhi.
माननीय अमित शाह जी ने एक बार कहा था, आप सब लोगों को याद होगा, ये फोटो अप है, ये फोटो शूट है और कुछ नहीं है। ये तो तब सब लोग कूद पड़े थे, नहीं ऐसे कैसे बोलते हैं करके। अभी वही हो रहा है।
So what really is the future of the India bloc, or actually the present of India bloc? Kapil Madan, political analyst, joins us. We also have Sanjay Gupta, UBT Shiv Sena. We also have Shivankar Bhattacharya, who's a political analyst who supports the TMC, joining us. Thank you all of you for joining me on this broadcast. Sanjay Gupta, आपसे एक सवाल पूछना चाहूँगी सर। महाराष्ट्र के चुनाव हो गए हैं और तभी भी हमने देखा कि UBT फैक्शन से भी काफ़ी वॉइसेस आए थे। अभी आपका जो है व्यू क्या रहेगा इंडिया ब्लॉक की तरफ से, क्योंकि आप लोगों ने साथ में फाइट तो किया था, लेकिन UBT के नंबर सबसे अच्छे थे, लेकिन ऐसा फाइट आप दे नहीं पाए महायुति को। क्या आपको लगता है कि इस ब्लॉक का कोई फ्यूचर है?
देखिए, किसी भी तरह के गठबंधन में होना और उसमें सही तरीके से होना, ये दो अलग अलग बातें होती हैं। गठबंधन की बात करना और गठबंधन धर्म को सही से निभाना, ये ना तो पहले कभी सही से था, ना अभी सही से है और ना आगे कभी हो सकता है। क्योंकि गठबंधन को सही तरीके से निभाने की कुछ शर्तें होती हैं जिसको दोनों पक्ष मानते हैं। हम अगर किसी भी पक्ष की बात करते हैं, तो चाहे हम राम मंदिर के मुद्दे को ले लें, चाहे हम धारा 370 के मुद्दे को ले लें, चाहे हम वीर सावरकर जी के मुद्दे को ले लें, कोई भी एक ऐसा मुद्दा नहीं है कि जिस पर हम सभी की सहमति एक है। जब किसी भी मुद्दे पर हमारी सहमति ही नहीं है, तो फिर गठबंधन कैसा? लोकसभा में भी ना तो ये सही तरीके से गठबंधन था, ना ये विधानसभा के चुनाव में सही तरीके से गठबंधन था, ना ये आज हो सकता है। दिल्ली के चुनाव में महाराष्ट्र के उत्तर प्रदेश के जो उपचुनाव थे उसके अंदर अखिलेश यादव जी ने सारी सीटों को लिया, मगर महाराष्ट्र में फिर भी वो कूदे। उसके बावजूद भी, क्योंकि यहाँ तो हमारा गठबंधन है, यहाँ नहीं मानते। आज दिल्ली के अंदर किस तरह का गठबंधन, आज अरविंद केजरीवाल जी कह रहे हैं कि हमें किसी की जरूरत नहीं है, हमें किसी के साथ गठबंधन नहीं करना। तो ये गठबंधन नेचुरल ना तो था, ना है, ना होगा, और इस गठबंधन से किसी को फायदा नहीं हो सकता, सिर्फ नुकसान ही हो सकता है। क्योंकि जब तक कोई एक सरदार सही नहीं होता, जब तक एक राजा सही नहीं होता किसी भी गुट का या गठबंधन का, तब तक वो गठबंधन सही नहीं माना जा सकता।
Okay. Kapil Madan, whatever Omar Abdullah has said, or for that matter, the kind of support that Aam Aadmi Party has received from India bloc allies in the last few days also shows that regional parties or local parties seem to be far more equipped, or at least in terms of projection and in terms of perception, they seem to be far more capable of taking on the BJP, and that was what even the Lok Sabha results showed, because the DMK numbers or Samajwadi Party numbers or TMC numbers were were quite significant. Is this also a lesson for the Congress party to sort of start getting its act together as far as its leadership is concerned? Because there are many questions that are being asked, not just about the present but also about the future of India bloc. You'll have to unmute yourself.
Yes, if you look at the last Lok Sabha election result, I think Congress party was the second largest party in terms of the vote share. I think their vote share was about 19%, upward of 19%. So this is where we are. You're talking about a party that has, a historical presence of more than, 100 years, and they have presence everywhere. While, I would not comment on what, Mr. Omar Abdullah has said, but one thing is very, very clear. When the alliance for the 2024 Lok Sabha election happened, it was very clear that all the regional parties and the Congress, which is one of the largest national parties, came forward only for the purposes of the Lok Sabha election. And when that Lok Sabha election was fought in a united, manner insofar as the opposition was concerned, the BJP lost considerable number of seats and they could not get the numbers that they earlier projected. So this was the scene of the national elections, how that was contested. While at that point in time also, it was not made clear. In fact, no leader from any of the party from the opposition gave an assurance that they would be fighting the regional state elections as an coalition of India bloc. So it was very, very clear that all the regional parties would be contesting their state elections based on the local issues that they have. And in those elections, you might have Congress as an opposition because the coalition for these state elections were never announced. But I do agree with with you that if you want to have a strong opposition united, then yes, I think you need to have a strategy where how you would be contesting the state election going forward, because it's about the message to the people also, it's about message to the public also, that when you will contest 2029 election, whether this unit will go as one opposition, cohesive opposition, or it would be a fragmented opposition.
Okay. Shubhankar Bhattacharya, TMC was one of the first parties to point out to certain flaws in the kind of leadership that Congress was projecting. You had problems with the fact that Congress was in an alliance with the left party, something, a faction that Mamata Banerjee has fought tooth and nail in her career. Clearly, there are certain changes that the Congress party will have to make if it wants that leadership position, especially after its defeats in both Maharashtra and Haryana. How do you think that the Congress party needs to behave right now if it is actually serious about keeping India bloc alive?
See, I tell you, we need to understand one thing. In India, we have these two parties, BJP and Congress. They are basically not two big parties. They are two big egos. They are two big entities. They are two big dominance. So now the thing is, once you have not, we have not formed a government, it becomes a big challenge for the Congress to come up together as an alliance leader. Now, what happens with the regional partners as well, that we can accept Congress as a leadership, as a leader, but at the same time, its dominance is not accepted. And that point, that is something which is quite common in BJP and Congress both. Because both behave like that. These are the two dominances who think that they can control the Indian politics. Now what happens when it comes to the regional part, of course, the Congress is facing the challenge that they have to keep their existence alive in those areas as well. At the very same time, now, if you allow your regional partners to breathe in, so of course you have to be, that kind of inclusive mindset or something, a plan could be worked out, which is very typical, which is going to be very difficult for anyone.
Right.
But while I tell you one thing more, while for the NDA is laughing at India and I see different names coming up, NDA Alliance and everything. So let me tell them one thing. See, in Bengali, there is a saying, there's a proverb called Gobor Pore, Bhute Pore, Gobor Hache, which means the wet cow dung laughs while the dry dung burns. So this is the same situation. So they are not going to have the last laugh till you see the BR election. Because they are going to see the same condition over there in BR.
Okay. Kapil Madan, last word from you. Is the Congress party hell-bent on washing away all the gains that the India bloc made? Because clearly, as the leader, it needs to be far more accommodating. It can't be the big brother is what several of the allies are saying. The kind of support that Aam Aadmi Party has received from India bloc allies in the last 2 days, is it also a sign that Congress party needs to change its track when it comes to its leadership on the India bloc?
Well, I don't agree with you. As I said earlier, that, if you look at the issues of national importance, it is the Congress party who is at the forefront, has raised all the issues, be it, the issue around, inflation, be it, Pegasus, Rafale. So all the issues are being, at the national level is being taken, contested very aggressively by the Congress party. And in fact, we saw how, it translated into the seats also in 2024 election. But yes, I do agree with you to an extent that yes, everyone needs to work together as an alliance partner, because that's the only way you can have a strong opponent, constructive opposition to contest the BJP.
Okay, so more importantly, the Congress party also needs to pick issues that all the allies are okay with, because clearly there are local issues which are important and the party really cannot have complete say on the issues that it is raising as part of the alliance. Clearly, rift widening in the India bloc. We'll have to wait and see how that pans out. Thank you so much, Kapil Madan. Thank you, Mr. Bhattacharya, for joining us